Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about sort of the long-term review of the soft topper that I have on my truck. There's a couple things that I've ran into that I think would be important to share. I know some of you guys have been asking about some of the specific details of this model and this company, so I found a couple things that hopefully will be useful for you guys in the future if you're thinking about buying this product. But definitely I would say it's definitely worth the purchase, but there's a couple things that I think soft topper could probably do better in terms of small things here and there. But let's see what we got and I'll show you guys. So the first thing I noticed is this weather sealer right here. This weather stripping is it's super soft, and I think that they could give you maybe a firmer one. But honestly, this could be something that you could upgrade yourself. But I noticed that over time, with a lot of movement in the truck, especially if you're doing like any off-road things in your vehicle, or if it's on the freeway a lot and you have your top rolled up like I do a lot of the times, just for ease of access, and I kind of like the way it looks. This weather stripping seems to like want to squish out in the corners. I mean, over here it looks like it's all right. It seems to be staying under there. I think this has a lot to do with like a lot of the wind that's coming through and like it kind of vibrating around on the freeway, but it tends to do this, and I kind of don't like that. I think if you used a harder rubber type, it would be a lot better. So I've already gone through 2 of these. This is my second one I've ordered in terms of weather stripping. It's really cheap and it's really easy to fix, but it's just kind of a minor inconvenience that I think it can be avoided if you were to get a different type of weather stripping for this, and it's doing the exact same thing on this side. So you can see it kind of squishes out. It seems to do fine up here. I think when it's folded back as well, it seems to want to vibrate around a little bit more, and I think since it's not anchored down here as well, it kind of wiggles loose. This part also is somewhat of annoyance. I have it pinched between the tire. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but this part should go technically in here and sit behind. And if you have the soft topper rolled up like I do, like I had mentioned earlier, it seems to want to come out, and I think it's a little annoying because it kind of doesn't want to sit properly and kind of folds back on the freeway like that. I mean, that's just a little inconvenience. It's nothing too bad, especially if you have the soft topper closed most of the time. It's really not too big of a deal. It's more of just going back there and readjusting it every so often, I would say. And I'd say like this clear material where you can see out of the little windows, they get kind of dirty. I mean, you can use like simple green, clean them up real good, just like dilute it so it's not super strong, make sure it's nice and wet. But it hasn't sun faded or anything of that nature, so I think it's doing pretty good. I'd also recommend, if you have a Nissan Frontier, to sand this section down and I use 1,000 grit and then 2,000 grit to make it just really smooth, because the normal surface doesn't adhere too well to the Velcro that they provide, which is the next topic that I'm going to go over. The Velcro that they provide, you actually shouldn't even use at all. It's pretty garbage, and I will bring that out and show you guys which one is the better choice. Alright guys, so another thing I want to talk about is the Velcro. So this is how I would have my soft top normally set up. So a lot of people, I've noticed, they'll push this inwards and have it dangling down, but I wanted a more a kind of like a cleaner look to it, just because I wanted it to be almost fully sealed. So I had it I had Velcro strips running around from here to here. That way when you close it, it sits like perfectly flat, and it's got a nice kind of a better shape in my opinion. That way there's no like accidental leakage. If it's raining, it doesn't go just straight down. This will give it like a better seal in my opinion. There's still inherent spots where water will get in more, like such as back here, sometimes in here, but they do provide like seam sealer is what it's called. It's like a little bottle, and I'm guessing it's some sort of hardener. That way you can paint the seals over with the liquid, and then that'll prevent water from getting in, like dripping in and stuff like that. But definitely do not use whatever brand VELCRO soft topper provides, I would highly suggest using this. This is like significantly better. It's rated for 10 pounds. It's like waterproof. I had one on here and it lasted about 1.5 years, but it was also because I was kind of neglecting that part and keeping it dry, so like water did eventually get under it and the VELCRO kind of came up and off. But I'm sure it'll last way longer if you just kind of kept cleaning it a little bit more. So I had it in the middle right here, just a strip. And this stuff, like, I can't recommend this enough. It's just way better. You can get this at like Home Depot or Osh or Ace. It's like, I think it's like $10, maybe $12. But it's super strong. Definitely, you know, go over it with some alcohol. I did sand it down, like I said earlier, with 1000 grit and then 2000, just because the texture of the surface is a little rough, and the normal VELCRO didn't want to adhere at all. So that way, when I went to this guy, I prepped it before just in case, and it lasted significantly longer and was super strong. I never worried about it getting like torn up or anything, and that provides you with a much more secure seal, just like that. I did like that. I would recommend doing it like that just because you don't want water spots leaking through. But as you can see, like, it's held up pretty well. It's a little dirty just from sometimes I take it off the truck and I let it sit around, but most of the stuff you can just take a power wash or two and it'll come right off. It's just like tire marks or like a little bit of grease here and there, but it comes off real easily. And the wrinkles, you know, it being in the sun for about a half hour, and then these wrinkles kind of fix themselves just from it being rolled up constantly. But let me go get a wider shot. But I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll link that product in there. I'm gonna have to do more research on what kind of weather stripping, to recommend you guys, just because I think whatever weather stripping they provide, that like really soft foam just kind of doesn't cut it. It does prevent water from getting in, especially when you have it tightened down enough, but I wouldn't really recommend it as a long-term thing, especially if your vehicle sees a lot of like off-road or time like that. So, and you can't really see the weather stripping, kind of got squished out, but you can see where it starts and then falls out. But and these windows, they get kind of dirty quickly just from like road grime, but they're real easy to clean off, and they seem to clean up pretty well. So especially if you're not using your vehicle to do a lot of off-roading, or you're not in a particularly dusty environment, the soft topper is going to look great. Mine's just a little rough around the edges right now, to be completely honest. But yeah, I hope you guys like those tips. Let me know if you guys have any more questions about it. I'll try to answer your comments and concerns. I love this product. I think it's great, just those little shortcomings, but those are super easy to fix, and you know, I think it's definitely worth the purchase. It adds a lot of look to the truck, and it adds utility, especially if I'm going like camping or anything like that. It's nice to have stuff covered up, even if it's not securable, because there's no way to lock that stuff in there. It's a good way to cover it from the elements. So hopefully on a sooner episode, I'm going to take these fenders off, the front ones, these fiberglass ones, or Fiberworks ones, I'm sorry, and these McNeil Racing ones in the rear. I'm going to bed line these with Raptor liner, and hopefully I can get you guys some footage of me doing that. It should come out pretty good. Yeah, hopefully I'll get that to you guys too. Yeah, hopefully it'll match up the truck. I'll clean up the truck, I'll get a good wash on it. These will be finally matching, front mirror will be matching, bed lined, and I'll hopefully get you guys some footage of this thing rolling around the desert. Gonna do a little trip in the future, but hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave any comments on what you guys want to see in the future, but that's pretty much for this time.